Next, we're going to show you how to set everything up inside the RV. First, what we recommend is coming inside and putting the slides out. That will give you a lot more room. All you do is come back here, it says slide out room, and you just hit out. It will slide all the way out, and then you just hold the button until it stops. The slide will automatically stop when it is fully out. A very key thing is checking the tracks to make sure that there is nothing in the way when you are sliding the slides out or bringing the slides back in especially. So be sure to check over here and over here. Make sure there is nothing in the way when taking the slides in or out. But as you can see, a lot more space. Our second slide that can come out, the button is right here. It says slide out, and just go ahead and hit the out button, and then this side will slide out. And again, be sure to check that all of the tracks are clear, there's nothing in the way, and just hold down the button and it slides out for you. Another thing to note is when you get to your campsite or wherever you are going to be parking the RV, do a walk around of your surroundings and make sure that it is safe to put all the slides out. Make sure it's not going to hit anything on the outside as well. After you pick up the RV from us and we do your walkthrough, we do recommend go ahead and turn the fridge on. That way it will give it some time to cool down. All you do is go over here to the refrigerator and turn the on button, and we recommend leaving it on auto. Give it a little bit of time and your freezer and your fridge will cool down so you can store any of your things. And then over here on the control panel, the start button up here at the top right is the generator. Now, if you are parked at a campground, you won't need this button because you can hook up to the electricity. However, if you are somewhere that does not have electricity and you need to use the generator, you just push the start button, hold it for a couple seconds, and then you will hear the generator kick on. It's actually on right now, so if you can hear the humming in the background, that's just the noise of the generator. So again, once you get to your campsite and you're going to get all hooked up to your electricity, just make sure that the generator is off. All you do is go up here to this button on the right. You push it once and the generator will turn off, and then you are all ready to get hooked up to your electricity. So right here you have your main control panel. If you push these buttons here, it's going to show you how full your tank is for your gray, your black, your fresh water, your battery, and your propane. Just push the button to check your tanks. Down here is the water heater. You can use electric or gas, whichever you prefer. Now, if you are at a campground that has water, you will not need to turn this on for the water pump. However, if they don't have water, you might need to turn this on. You can ignore this button, and then these switches here are just for the lights. And then again, your slide in and out button here. And then generator up here. If you're driving and somebody wants to use the restroom or wash their hands, you will have to make sure that this water pump is turned on. And at the start of your trip, you will want to make sure that there is a little bit of water in your tank. So while you are renting the Love Is All You Need RV, we do have a microwave, a stove, and an oven that you may use if you would like to do so. We do ask that you bring your own pots and pans, any kind of dishes that you might need for your getaway. One thing that we want to stress is that if you are going to use the stove top, you have to make sure this glass top is flipped up. Don't ever turn it on with this glass down. So big thing to note, go ahead and just flip the glass top up. And all you do to turn on your burners is the far left one here where it says burner. You just hit spark. And then you flip the left switch until it turns on. Then you can go ahead and adjust your heat settings from there. Turn it all the way to off when you're all done. And you can do so with any of the burners. If at any point you are going to be using the stove or the oven, a very key thing to note is that you always want to make sure you are using the ventilation. There is a button on top here that says fan. You want to make sure this is turned on. Keep this on at all times while cooking. And there's also a fan up here that you're going to open and turn all the way on as well. So big thing to remember, make sure that there is proper ventilation when cooking. First, you just turn the knob to your left to open it up, and then over here there's a dial that will turn the fan on. If you would like to use the oven, all you have to do is come to the far right knob here where it says oven. You're going to turn it to the right until it gets to the pilot setting. Then you will take your lighter, go ahead and open the oven door, and in there you will see the pilot light. You just turn it on and light it up, and you'll see it light up, and then you come back up to your knob and you turn it to the temperature that you want the oven to be. We do have a little kitchenette and a sink here for you that you can use. All you do is when you are parked, safely remove the lid here and you can use this sink. Please make sure that no food goes anywhere near this sink. We cannot have any food going down the drains, so definitely keep food away from the sink and also the toilet. No food down the sink or toilet. We do have a coffee maker we will be leaving for you to use. It is a K-cup coffee maker, so be sure to bring your favorite K-cups. And then there's some storage here if you want to bring some stuff. There's an outlet if you need it. And a big thing to keep track of is when you are going to bring this slider in, make sure these drawers are completely pushed in. Otherwise the truck will hit it. But plenty of space for anything that you want to bring. We do have a great little kitchen table here for you to use, and there are seat belts on this side, so passengers may sit here with their seat belts. And this also can be converted into a bed if you need some extra sleeping area. So underneath the table there is a little latch that you're just going to flip up, and then you just push the table down and you will cover it with the cushions here for a nice little makeshift bed. And once you have the latch removed, you can just push it down, and you'll want to make sure the cushions are out of the way, and then just put them over top of the table to make a nice even flat bed. Just make sure when the table is up that you put this little latch back so that it is secure and it's not going to go anywhere on you. If you need some extra sleeping area, we do have the bunks up here. This can just fold down, and then you can unlatch the ladder over here and bring it around and hook it in here so that you can climb on up. And we do have a TV up here as well. The TV also can be pulled out, so if you're sitting in your living area, you can watch TV from that viewpoint too. And in this extra little bunk area, there is also a TV here, as well as a radio for you to use. In this control panel here, we have the main battery switch for the coach batteries. You want to make sure this is turned on at all times. You also have a couple switches here for some lights outside. We also have the awning switch and then the leveler switch. So if you would like to bring the awning out, you just push the button to where it says out, and you want to make sure that when it is rolling out that you roll it out until you see the bar. Once you see the actual bar, you want to stop it. And make sure that you bring the awning back in anytime you are going to move the RV. And another thing we want to point out is our fire extinguisher. It is right here just in case you ever need it. So come on back into your master bedroom. We've got a very comfortable queen size bed for you here. You also have a TV in the room, and there's tons of storage space for you to use. We do ask everyone to bring their own sheets, pillowcases, shower towels, hand towels, comforters. If you're traveling this fall or winter, definitely make sure to bring some extra blankets because it could, get chilly at night. But yeah, you can store anything in here, and it's very cozy back here. Right here next to the master bedroom is your temperature control. Here on this monitor is where you're going to control the air conditioner. There is only one air conditioner for the entire RV. In the wintertime, this is where you would control the heat as well. You need to make sure that the generator is running to use this, or you're hooked up to electricity to be able to use this. So all you do is hit mode and then adjust your temperature. And one thing to note, when you're using the air conditioner, when you go ahead and adjust your settings, sometimes there is a little bit of a delay for it to kick on. Give it a couple minutes and then it will turn on. And then also when you turn it off, sometimes it takes a couple minutes to turn off too. And the lever to flush the toilet is over here on the right. Just go ahead and push it down. You want to make sure that your water pump is turned on to use the toilet, or you are hooked up to water. Another thing that we want to point out so we can avoid any accidents or damage is that if you do want to open your window, feel free. You unlock it here, but what we want to point out is make sure you don't just pull the window open with this latch, because they are pretty flimsy and we don't want it to break. So you actually have to use two hands and slide it, and then you can slide your screen shut and just let the air in. Or if you want to feel the rain, go ahead and open that too. We do ask that you keep all windows completely shut and locked if at any point when you are not in the RV. Okay, and right here we have the roof antenna. So the first step in setting up your television is coming over here and turning it to on. One thing you have to know is the minimum overpass clearance is 12 feet 6 inches. That is the absolute minimum. So if you see any signs that is 12 feet 5 inches, do not try to go under it. The absolute minimum is 12 feet 6 inches. And over here is where you're going to hook up your electric plug. All you do is take the plug and put it in here. You have to line it up, push it in, make sure that the label is facing up, and then you're just going to go ahead and tighten the locking collar. Make sure that's fit completely snug, and you're good to go, and you're hooked up to electricity. In this compartment here is where the electric cord will be stored. You'll just find it tucked away in this compartment, and you can pull it out and use your electric cord. When you get to your campsite and you're going to plug in your electric cord, you're going to plug in our cord into the surge protector, and the surge protector will be plugged into the campground's electricity. So find where the electrical outlet is for your campground, take your surge guard, plug it in, and then you plug in our cord to that. And this is 30 amp service. Some of the other features of this camper is right here is where you're going to fill up your potable water tank. If you're at a campsite that has a water hookup, this is where you will plug in here. We have an extra little antenna outlet for cable here if you want to plug in cable and they offer it. Again, this is your electric hookup. We have an outdoor shower, so if you need to rinse off feet, rinse off little muddy paws, you can go ahead and do that here. In this compartment, this is where you're going to dump your tanks, the gray tank and the black tank. We've got two different lengths here that you can choose from depending on where you are. And underneath there, you're going to see the gray tab that you will pull to dump your water, and the black tab is where you're going to pull to dump your waste. So when you're going to dump your tanks, you want to dump your black one first, and then you're going to dump the other one so that can kind of flush it out. Now at the end of your trip, after you flush out the black one and then the gray one, then you can hook up a hose here and that will flush everything out. We do have some extra compartments for storage on the outside of the RV here. You can put anything in here. On this side we have some wheel chocks and leveling plates, and then in the last compartment there is our generator. Okay, so over here on this side of the RV, if you open up this compartment here, you have the propane tank, and you shouldn't really have to do anything with this. It will come full, but just so you know that it's here. We also have an extra storage compartment on this side here. And right here we have an extra entertainment center out here. You're just going to go ahead and unlock it and pull it down, and you can have some radio. There's an outlet if you need it, and a CD player, because who doesn't love that? And if you need to drain the potable water, this is where you do it, in this storage compartment. And this compartment also can be used for storage, but just light storage. Don't put anything too heavy in this one. Make sure when you park at your campsite, you look around and there's plenty of clearance for you to bring the slides out, and we're going to show you them coming out now. So we're about to bring the slides out. We've looked around, we've made sure that there's nothing in the way. We also have another slide on this side. We're going to go ahead and pull that out now. When you're pushing the button to bring the slide out, just stop it as soon as you hear the clicking noise. So when you're all finished camping and you're getting ready to pack up, there's just a couple things we want you to remember. Again, make sure that you check the tracks before bringing the slides in. Before you take off on your drive, double check all the cabinets on the inside are completely shut and secured. Make sure all your belongings are secured, and double check to make sure that the side door is shut all the way and locked, and you should be ready to go and return home. We hope you have a wonderful time in the Love Is All You Need RV and make so many wonderful memories. We are going to have a checklist for you, so when you get the RV and you get to your campsite and when you're ready to pack it up for the end of your getaway, please make sure that you go through the checklist in full to make sure that everything is safe. And one thing we want to point out again is just to double check the tracks when you're sliding the slides back in. And the last thing that you will do is unhook from the electricity and be good to go. Thank you again.